That was close. That was close. That was too close, man. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of More Than the Title, y'all. Episode 177. I'm your host, as usual, Jarrett, Outside the Box Digital. And you see, I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What's good, baby?
I made it. Cousin said that was too close.
Well, you switched it up quick, baby. I love it.
Baby. Listen, we happy to be here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of one of your favorite podcasts, the More Than the Title podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, man. And you know how we like to start off every show, man. G&T. Once again, we're gonna keep the G&T the same. Once again, our hearts, our minds, our prayers. Our condolences to anybody that has lost a family member or has lost anything in these wildfires in LA, man. You know, California is really going through a bad time, right? We're getting back to being human beings, right? And being sympathetic and empathetic, right? It's not about money. It's not about status. It's not about culture. It's about the human being aspect, right? So if anybody has anybody that they love out there, please check on them, right? Anybody knows anybody that has lost anything out there, please check on them, right? Property can be replaced, even though we get upset, right? We love our shit, right? We love our shit, little antiques, our cars, whatever, paintings, but that can be replaced. Some people have actually lost their lives, right? Yeah. So we're thankful once again for the volunteers, the first line responders, and everybody that is technically out there every single day trying to help contain this tragedy. G&T, ladies and gentlemen, grateful and thankful.
And we are thankful for y'all, the listeners, y'all across every platform. We growing and glowing. Shout out to the Instagram, the LinkedIn, the Twitch community. Going crazy across all platforms. Millions of views last year. We on the right trajectory. And it's all because of y'all, man. Y'all keep us going. We appreciate it and love y'all. You know what we do from the couch. That's what we do. And with that said, we got a great show for y'all as always. If you haven't tuned into the show, More Than the Title is a show to celebrate our people that are putting on for the culture, people who are successful, that sacrificed, right? That dedicated their life to the success, right? And to show you that they're more than their title, right? That what it takes to actually get there. And this show is no different than any other. And we're going to get crazy. And with that said, we're going to get
you said this show ain't no different from any other. Whoa.
You know, we got great guests. What the hell? I
mean, our show is a lot different from every other. I'm just saying. I love you, but I love you. When you make statements like that, I'm like,
hell no. It's like any other. It's a good show. It's a good show. You feel your Tirrell for me?
Let's start the show.
Let's get it rocking, man. We'll give this brother the proper introduction he deserves, man. This brother is a filmmaker, entrepreneur, and a visionary media executive behind Liquid Soul, one of the nation's leading brand marketing agencies. His work has shaped the success of blockbusters like Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, 42, the Jackie Robinson story, The Hunger Games, and Game of Thrones, just to name a few. This brother was also an executive producer and filmmaker with projects like Cop Watch, Amazing Grace, Brian Banks under his belt, plus Aretha Franklin biopic Respect, that starred Jennifer Hudson, Forrest Whitaker, and Mary J. Blige. This brother also has an NAACP Image Award, a member of the Motion Picture Academy, and worked for powerhouse clients like McDonald's, Walmart, Coca-Cola, and AT&T. You've seen him on stage. You've seen him on Black Market 85 South. You've seen him in the boardrooms. Now, for the first time, he's on your favorite show, y'all, More Than the Title. Let's welcome my brother, Mr. Tirrell Whittley, y'all.
I'm here. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you. I feel incomplete. I got to get with Chadeo. Let me see how.
There you go.
Second chair.
There you go.
All right, there it is, baby.
All right, am I ready now?
He's on fire.
Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. I'm down here in Atlanta, enjoying life, and man, it's good to be with y'all, man. Y'all show is blowing up. I love what you guys are doing. As I was listening and watching the intro, I saw Detavio, my good brother. I saw other people y'all that spoke to that I know personally. Y'all hitting the people from the culture, and that's what matters. That's important, bro.
Tirrell, you in Atlanta? I'm in Atlanta. After the show, can I get some chicken and biscuits?
I can tell you where to get them.
Can I get some Southern hospitality, brother? A brother hungry.
I love it.
No, you're stupid, man. But welcome to the show, brother. We really appreciate you, man. We've been connected for a while, man. We've been a fan of yours, man, watching your journey and things like that. And like we usually like to start, brother, I would love to start. Tell us some of your early influences, man, and how you got into the industry, bro.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Before I even go there, I just want to commend y'all on what you're doing. This is important, especially in today's day. Like, we got to make sure that we highlight our own, that we showcase them, and that we keep building up our community, man. Culture got to ride, and we got to ride high, especially now. It's about to be a lot of changes, and we got to.
That's right.
So man, I started, and I'm gonna try to keep it short, but my story is really, I think, interesting in that, for me, man, I feel like I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, man. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Listen, man, I had 2 companies I did in my own little way back then. I used to cut hair, had a little barbershop in the basement. So Friday nights, cats would come through, $7, get a cut. We go hoop. Then Saturday, I got cash in my pocket. I'm good to go. I'm the cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And part of it was, I had a twin sister. I tell people that my parents, they loved her and they liked me. And so I had to have my own cash. So it was fun. And I enjoyed not only doing that, but then in the winter and during the summer, I would go out and cut grass. So I was always hustling, trying to figure out how to put money in my pockets. Well, then I went to Florida A&M University. Shout out to the Rattlers. FAMU, I am a Rattler through and through. I met my wife there 31 years ago. Both my girls, I got an oldest that graduated from FAMU. My youngest is a senior down there right now. She's an AKA. My wife is an AKA. I pledged Alpha. My nephew is there, and my twin sister went to FAMU. When I say I bleed orange and green, that's for real. I'm on the board of the foundation. As a matter of fact, I'm the vice chair, so I help raise money for the university. It's real for me.
Damn! Mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
I'm trying to finish off my bachelor's. What's up, man? FAMU.
Come on, baby. Come on, man. We'll take you. You just got to get that 4.0, baby. We got to get
what you want, Cuzzo? Let's become a part of the family too. It's only right.
I'm with it. That's it, man. So while at FAM, after I pledged Alpha, man, I started 2 companies with some frat brothers. Man, we got into graphic design. Did web development. Now this is back in the 90s, bro. So we were doing, this is the mid 90s. We were doing websites and stuff. It was cool. And, but everybody, man, it wasn't just me. It was the environment. I call that time at FAMU kind of the golden era. 2 of my frat brothers, they were shooting a movie called Chocolate City. That's Rob Hardy and Will Packer. And, my company created the logo for their company. And we helped promote their movie. And so it was a whole lot of energy during that time, a lot of entrepreneurial energy on campus. And to this day, we still work together. We still do deals and projects. So it started really building at FAMU. After FAMU, I did the corporate thing. I was with my lady, my wife, who I've been with her 31 years. We got married 28 years ago. We moved to Houston. I had to have some benefits, little job, make sure I could take care of her. So I did corporate for a while, but the bug never left me. Like once you're an entrepreneur and you taste it, it's something about that freedom, that feeling that for me, it was infectious. And like I said, I already had it from a young kid, like it was already there.
Yeah.
So I was doing corporate, got to Atlanta. And in the midst of it, I'll tell you, this is a special moment. I'm gonna tell you where it really clicked for me. They were doing layoffs. I was living in Houston at the time. They were doing layoffs. This cat next to me came in. I came in. He was already sitting there. And this cat, he was in a wheelchair, had been disabled. We worked in IT, and he was at his desk crying. Now, this is a grown man. I'm in my late 20s, mid 20s, maybe 24. This 50-year-old man is crying at his desk. And he was like, yo, man, I know I'm about to get laid off, man. And it was the fear. It was the fear in his eyes that like got me. And I was like, yo. And so I got up from my desk and I went into my manager's office, who is real cool. He's my friend to this day, a guy named James Holmes. And I went into James Holmes' office and I said, yo, James, hey, man, just let me know now. Like, I'm the last hired. Am I the first fired? Let me know, right? If I'm gone, just tell me. And James was like, sit down, young man, relax. You're gonna be all right. But what was left for me was watching that fear. And I was like, I don't want to ever feel that way. And unfortunately, sometimes when you at the mercy of that space of just the entrepreneur, of being an employee, you have that fear. Like somebody gonna come in and they can cut you and there ain't much you could do about it, right?
Yeah.
So at that moment, that's when I knew. I was like, you know what? I got to make sure that I got to hustle a side gig. I got to get back to that entrepreneurial space and that entrepreneurial mindset. So I did that when I got to Atlanta. I became, I rose up the ranks and became an executive at this software company. And I was killing it on both sides, man. I mean, I had huge clients in my side, like Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Cox. I had big IT clients, killing it as an executive. And I was blessed at my corporate job where I got the chance to hire other Black folks in the IT. Now, this is back in the early 2000s where that money it's different. It's different today. That money back then was totally different. And I hired, man, I tell you a little story in that. One of the persons that I was able to get on at my company was my twin sister. And I'm real proud and happy about that. My twin sister, who was doing well, she was a manager at Target. She was a single mom, but she had to work weekends and holidays. And I was like, yo, that ain't the life. And I saw the stress on her. And I said, hey, I'm gonna figure out a way. There were some things happening at my company. I was able to give my sister an interview. Boom, she got in. So getting her in changed her life overnight. And she's now been there over 20 years. So I'm thankful. And that's the kind of stuff. Now that's the kind of stuff we're supposed to do.
Oh, man.
If you in corporate, look out. And I tell people this all the time, even when I was in corporate, this ain't my money. This ain't my company.
Come on.
I'm here for a season and for a reason.
Message.
Do good while I'm there, but let me figure out how to help folks, while I got the opportunity. So
But we got to hone in on that though, bro.
Yeah.
We know why, right? There's a lot of gatekeepers, right? People are looking out for their own selves, right? So you could have gave the opportunity to your twin sister. Thank God that she took the opportunity and ran with it. Unfortunately, on the flip side of that, sometimes people take the opportunity and don't run with it.
That's true.
So how do we find the balance in that? You know what I'm trying to say, bro?
Oh, well, I do. Let me tell you something I used to do. So I was 28, 29 years old when I was an executive at this company. And it's a big company, and they would have these big conferences. And, back then they didn't have like ERGs and Black groups and stuff like that. So I used to get all the Black people together and say, hey, let's go to dinner. And I remember one time, one of the another Black executive, she's like, well, can we do that? I was like, well, all the white people getting together, they didn't invite you. I said, yeah, we can do that. I said, yes, let's go have dinner together. Let's bring everybody together. So I would get all the Black. Now you got to understand, I'm 28, 29. I'm bringing 40, 50, a lot of people that are older than me in the room. I'm paying for dinner. But at that dinner, I would spend time and I would do a session called The Ropes to Skip and The Ropes to Know. And it was all about, look, let me tell you what's happening in these other rooms that you guys are not in, and what you need to be looking out for, how you need to be managing your career. Like it was a big mentoring session. And for me, I felt obligated, like, yo, if we gonna excel, like we can't have no weak links. And if you are a weak link, we got to call it out. We got to acknowledge it and help you. And if you can rise up, great. If you can't, I can't let you bring everybody else down. So my point is, like, for people that are in corporate, because I need the people that are in corporate, but you got it because those are my clients. But also while you're there, you got to help create fertile ground for everybody else, so that the tide rises and that we have a platform to stand on. Otherwise, come on, man, that whole being the one guy, the one executive, the one Black guy, like that's not it. And I never enjoyed it. I wanted to have community, but I also wanted the people around me to know that I actually cared.
That's real.
Yeah. So while I was there, I started Liquid Soul. And what most people don't know, I'm gonna give y'all
I was gonna ask you, what's the breaking point? It had to be a breaking point. You was in corporate, and it was one
So
thing.
if we're gonna get the story, you know that means we're going in the third period. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Let's go. I'm gonna take you in the paint on this one real deep. So I'm what they call, I started as what they call a passionpreneur. And so when I started this company, when I started Liquid Soul, I said, listen, the company I was at, corporate job was paying me well, had good bonus money. I took my bonus money to fund the launching of my entrepreneur of Liquid Soul. And part of it for me was like, yo, this is gonna be my legacy piece. And so with that, I was like, I want to make sure that I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. So I took at the time, I worked both things. I worked my corporate company, my corporate job, and I was growing Liquid Soul. Let me tell you, bro, I was going so hard. This was 20-hour days, 18-hour days on a regular, but I had the energy, I had the drive. My mind was focused that way, like I was in it. And I wasn't really doing a whole lot of other stuff, if you know what I mean. I was married. I just have, my girl. I wasn't out in the streets. I wasn't running around. I wasn't trying to be everybody's friend. I was trying to get to the paper.
Focus. Super focused,
man. Sometimes I feel like it was I was in overdrive, but I loved it. Like, I think about Mekhi Phifer in that movie. He's like, man, I love the game. Like, man, it's like playing basketball, like being Jordan in the paint, baby.
If I leave when they love me.
If I leave, are they gonna love me?
I got the bread. I got the bread. I can stop the mob, but
come on, man. But listen, real talk, bro. Like for me, like going in there pitching deals, oh, bro, that was my juice. That was my energy, man. I was like, let me get in that room. Like I'm gonna kill it. And so, and here's the difference. Let me tell you the difference. Like, because I had the corporate job, I really ain't had nothing to lose. I could put it all on the table. I ain't had nothing to lose. Like, I still was getting my money. I was like, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm putting it all on the table. So I'm gonna try to fast forward through it because it's a long answer. But the company launched, and it went through some iterations. We started as Liquid Soul Radio. We were an online streaming radio company. We had 24 channels of music. I could have deal with XM satellite radio. We were one of the first Black-owned internet and satellite broadcasters. We programmed XM 61 to flow, right? Oof. We were getting it. I had a concert series with ASCAP here in Atlanta. Shout out to Ian Burke. We started this thing called ASCAP Liquid Soul Cafe. We highlighted independent artists with label artists and created a free concert series. Like it was blowing up, but the money flow wasn't quite there. So then I started the marketing. Marketing started picking up. It was cool. And then this is the key point, especially for those watching right now. My two frat brothers, I mentioned them earlier, Rob Hardy and Will Packer, started a company called Rainforest. They were in Atlanta. They shot a movie early on called Twa. If you ever go, I don't know where you can find Twa. They shot this movie called Twa. I helped them do a little promotions for the movie back then. The movie made $1 million at the box office. They made another movie called The Gospel with Sony Screen Gems. After they made that movie, they came to me. I had started my marketing company. And they was like, yo, T-Wit, can you help us market our film? Studio gave them some money. They hired me. We went bananas. I mean, we went ham. I'm talking about, I had e-cars, websites, T-shirts, promotions. I mean, we were everywhere. And the studio, they were like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like the movie is tracking. Man, the movie came out. It was number 5 at the box office. It went on to do $16 million at the box office total. That's in theater and DVD. And so the Sony Screen Gems called me and was like, yo, we want to hire you for 6 more films. Now look, at the time, I had 3 large clients. I had Motorola, Denny's, and Pepsi Bottling. And they came to me from my concert series, and we were doing marketing for them. I told my staff, now listen, I'm still working my corporate job, right? Still working my corporate job. I tell my staff, I'm like, yo, look, we got to make a decision because it's just not enough hours in a day. So I said, look, we're gonna cut all these other clients that we have, and we just gonna focus on film and television. Just this. And I told them we're gonna become the experts, not just average, the top dogs of film and television marketing.
Message.
Right. Now I'm still working my 9 to 5. We go off, we do that. People start learning, they start hearing about us. CNN calls me. They're like, hey, we got this show called Black in America with Soledad O'Brien. We need you. Boom. Then TBS calls like, hey, we got these shows from Tyler Perry called House of Pain, Meet the Browns. Boom. At that juncture, it was like, okay, this is a lot. I mean, I had an office building. I had 4 employees. I was still working my corporate job. Something had to give. We had just hit our first gross $1 million in revenue. I was like, I gotta make a decision. And go 100% into the company. But here's the one thing that I did before I went 100% in the company. And this is a big major key. I told my wife, I said, and my wife had 2 children. I said, you two, my family, you'll never feel the impact of this decision in a negative way. If I got to work 24 hours, 2-3 jobs, if I got to whatever, I'm going to make sure that you guys are taken care of. So I had saved up enough money. I knew exactly how much cash I needed to come through the door. I was living very economically. Like I wasn't trying to, compete with the Joneses and all of that. I keep up with them. I was like, look, I'm just going to do my thing and I'm going to make sure that we can kind of do this right. And it worked out perfectly, man. The company took off and I'm here today. And I'm thankful for it, bro.
That was a big bet.
I know what you're gonna say, cuz I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, yo, I don't even know which way to go. Like I don't even know what to ask you. Like you done covered so much. Cuz I'm gonna be like, yo, I want to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Like cuz which way
I'm lighting up, bro.
Yeah,
I'm lighting up. So I was gonna ask you. So now you said that, but what was the toughest obstacle as you were scaling the business, though, bro? Because that's a big bet. If you got Motorola, and you got those big clients, and they're bringing in revenue, you could easily say, "I'm gonna double down on that client flow, stick to that product line, or whatever we're doing for that brand client, instead of going to the film." And like, was there a hunch, or was it something you was like? Did you look at the market? Was like, there's no other agencies like that?
Well, yeah. There weren't any other agencies, but here's the kicker, because this is always, so your question is like, what's that big moment?
Yeah.
There's been many big moments that happen, and I feel like it just requires a certain level of discernment and focus. So like that first one was, hey, I'm gonna focus on just doing film and TV because I noticed nobody's over there. Like the grass is super duper green. Yeah. Let's go out there and let's just make it happen. And it was fresh. Like nobody has seen something. Like there are a lot of consultants and people doing, but not a whole company, like an agency focused on just film and television. They're like, okay, this is different.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, as you all know, as we all know, COVID happened. Film and TV and sports and went flat. So I had to make another pivot, and we jumped off into biopharmaceuticals. I was into sports. We got into technology, and now the great thing is we had already, this is what I tell young people, like, you got to become an expert at something. You got to be known for something. Everybody has that one moment that makes them, okay, cool. This is who you are. This is what you are. It makes them known for something. So for us, as you guys said it, like, when we did, it was all the #1 films, bro. We did 42 and The Hangover. We helped launch Empire, Power, Blackish, the Agency of Record for NBC Universal, Warner Brothers Pictures.
The Agency of Record for NBC Universal?
Yeah.
Not the multicultural, the Agency of Record, y'all heard that?
Yeah.
I mean, all the budget.
Oh, yeah. And so at that juncture, bro,
this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking.
He's good, this guy. He's good. He's good.
He don't miss. I just want to say he don't miss. He don't miss.
He's excellent.
Hey, at that moment, but people knew who we were, at least in that industry, but we were the experts. And so we cut over at a real high level. So one of our first big corporate clients was Walmart. And so like people were like, wow, okay, if you're doing them and Walmart, then you obviously can handle us. So it helped kind of keep the game moving the way that we needed to move at the level we wanted to move it at.
That's a great. Hey, I got to ask you a sales question because now because you're a salesperson, you get fired up like me. You said when you go in those rooms, you get fired up. That's the same way me and Cuzzo are when we go in these rooms. We have an agency as well, right? And that's the same fight we're fighting. What's one sales story you could share with us that was like just crazy? What's one sales story that was insane?
I'm gonna give you one. This one was so we went out there. It was okay. Let me give you the full story. So Disney called us about a movie, but they wouldn't tell us what it was. But it was Disney. I mean, who's gonna say no? So they fly to Atlanta. They say, "Hey, we're gonna show you this movie." We had to sign all these documents. This is my first Disney movie, and the movie they put on, they brought a DVD. The movie wasn't even finished, and it was The Princess and the Frog. And they were like, "Look, we need an agency to work on The Princess and the Frog. This is a big movie." Boom, 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 boom. So I was like, "Okay." And so then I got like 2 or 3 stories, but I'm gonna tell you this one. But so anyway, we flew out to LA, right? We put our proposal together. It was tight. And I sit down in the room and like it felt like a brigade of people. It's like 30 people walk in this room. Man, huge conference room, people all against the walls just to hear us pitch. Directly across from me is the president of marketing for Disney. So we pitching, and I'm in it. I mean, my energy is popping, right? And so one of the things that I pitched was to take The Princess and the Frog to HBCU football classics, right? The Bayou Classic, Southern Heritage, the Atlanta Football Classic, the Florida Classic. And so I'm breaking it down, like what we gonna do, how we gonna take it, Jumbotron, we're gonna do promotions, all kind of stuff. And so the president, he leans forward and he's like, "So you mean to tell me you want to take my Disney princess to football games?" And I do this. I say, "Absolutely." I slam my hands down. I said, "And if you don't do it, you missing the boat." And he was like, "Whoa.
Are you out of your fucking mind?"
Everybody in the room, bro, you could hear everybody in the room like, "Oh my God, did he just slam his hands down on the table and talk to the president like that?"
President of Disney.
And the thing was, and this is the point, you got to believe in it more than anybody else in the room. If you don't believe it to your core, then what you selling?
Message.
Right? Yeah. I believed it to the core, baby. And so I explained to him, I was like, "Man, how many Black women go to football classics, the family element, you know, the legacy of it, the sororities, the dancing girls, the bands, the pageantry, the Bayou Classic is in New Orleans. Come on, man. If you don't do this, you crazy." Man, let me tell you, the president sat back and he was like, "Smartest thing I've ever heard." Man, and at that juncture, you want to talk about like your spirit just gets big, man. I was like, man, my chest grew 3 sizes. I was like, baby, I ain't got nothing.
You gotta give him the
Savage! I'm a savage!
Savage. I'm a savage.
So you know, we win the deal. It works out great. The Princess and the Frog is the #1 movie. We get tons of Disney business off of that. But the point is, like, you can never be scared, but you got to know your stuff and you got to believe it beyond a shadow of a doubt more than anybody. But you got to also have your facts. So the key was not only did I believe it, I had all my facts. So after I backed it up, let me finish the story. So we finished pitching, boom, boom, boom. So we go back to the vice president's office, right? The woman that flew to Atlanta to show us the movie. And she closed the door. She's like, "That's the best meeting I've ever been in." She's like, "Nobody has talked to the president of marketing like that." She's like, "I love you right now. I love you." And I'm still friends with this woman to this day, man. So like those moments, like you never forget that.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. You know, I think there's no better feeling for anybody, no matter how big or small, is just the idea of putting your all, putting your energy, and believing in something, a project, right? We used to do it as little kids in school. Remember the little science projects, right? A volcano or something, like a little simple baking soda and vinegar. But let me tell you, how many motherfuckers went home and I gotta design it like this, and you know what I'm saying? Like when you put your all into something and you see it work, right? And you see and you feel the accomplishment, there's nothing better than that euphoric feeling of adrenaline and just, you know what I mean? And you feel like I did it, right? And you know, I love it, but I wanted to use that to kind of backtrack just a little bit because you said something that we have to talk about that is a mainstay on this show. We cannot chew past it. The family aspect of you having a corporate job, being successful, being married with children, right? Now you are already committed, you have a situation, you have responsibilities. It's not about you anymore.
Right.
Going to your wife and saying, this is uncharted territory. Not that we're going to invest in something that's proven. It works. We know it. Everybody's doing it. Let's do it. I believe in this, but understand this ain't never been done, right? But believe in me and understand that you ain't never going to feel nothing from it, and having the support from them to give you, once again, that euphoric feeling that you can do it. That's what I want to just kind of hone in on, right? Because a lot of us in our culture, in our community, do not have that support aspect. So how important for your family to back you in that decision making, to help you, you know, propel forward to do the things that you did.
Man, so man, you're gonna take me there right now. I got two parts to this.
That's
right?
it.
I'm gonna give you two parts. The first is, you know, I give that up to God. It's my belief in God. I've been a deacon for 20 years. Literally, as of today, man, today is the day 20 years ago that I was made a deacon. And so for me, my faith was really big. So it started with me on my knees going to God, right? And I know my wife knows that, hey, he put his faith in the right place. His intentions are pure and he got favor on his side, right? And I'm willing to do the work.
That's it.
So that was a big, big moment for her to feel like, and for me, and this is for any mate out there, like to put that level of trust in somebody, I know it's a big risk. Like that, like she put a whole lot in me. And so for me, it was like, I can't let her down. I can't let her and them girls down. Man, my wife has gotten her hair done every 2 weeks since we started, since we've been together. She ain't never missed a moment, baby. I'm like, never. Right?
Yeah.
My wife drives a fresh car at all times. Like it's certain things I'm just gonna keep on the level.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take it to another point because now this is deeper. So look, 2014, Liquid Soul is out of here, bro. We killing it. We got the biggest clients: General Mills, Walmart, Disney, you know, NBC Universal, you call it. Bruh, I had a 9,000 square foot building, 22 people work. I think we was up to 30 people. It was everything. I go into a doctor's office and the doctor tells me, young man, you have cancer. I was like, yo, but God. Like all of that, man. Now I'm telling you this because the 14th, 2 days ago, was my 10-year anniversary of being cancer free. Right? I had surgery, I'm cancer free, but in 2014, when I had cancer, all of this flashes in front of your face, man. Like I got the family, the company, the kids. Man, I just want to be here, right? And so the people that really got my back, come on, man. My wife, my girls, man, they were like, Daddy, we here for you. And when you got that kind of energy behind you, it's like a double charged Duracell that really keeps you going and keeps you motivated. And so for anybody, so because you said this earlier, and I know we were talking, man, you go through ups and downs, right? Business ain't, if anybody is sitting here tell you like, man, it was a rocket shit to the top, like it was nonstop, just getting it, man, whatever. It's man, I was so high, we were doing so well, and when the doctor said I had cancer, man, the bottom fell out, bro. I was like, I don't even know what to think and do. But having the support of my wife, who is my best friend, having my girls who I absolutely adore. I got two beautiful girls. And looking at their faces, I remember I told my wife, I said, baby, I might not do a lot of things in life, but walking them 2 girls down the aisle, that's gonna mean everything to me.
You gotta listen to him. You learn something.
So those kind of moments really put it all into perspective.
That's real, man. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, we did the research. It was prostate cancer, right?
Yeah.
Prostate, man. And you know, it's crazy. The day I saw you, the day we saw you in Black Week,
yeah,
I got a call that my pops are dealing with the same thing right now.
Yeah.
The day the day I saw you.
Yeah.
The day I saw you in
I
Black
learned from my dad. My dad went through it. But and this is the thing, the reason why I talk about it so openly now, and it took me a minute, is because Black men don't talk about health like that.
Yeah.
And so my dad didn't talk to me about it until he was going in for surgery. I was 40 years old, man. I went in and I was diagnosed early. I was able to, have a surgery, and now I'm cancer free. But still, man, like we don't talk about it enough. And let me tell you what's funny, bro. I was on a call earlier today with another brother that went through the exact same thing, and he was 40 years old. And luckily he caught it early. So I speak about it openly now because I want brothers to be mindful. I want them to get checked out. I want you to, don't think you invincible. I had no symptoms. I didn't feel anything. When I went in, the numbers were off. And as they started doing more and more tests, the doctor came back and was like, yo, it is what it is, but you caught it. So now what you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Again, let me tell you something too. I want to thank you again. I know we thanked you before, but I want to thank you again for just being open and honest and just giving of yourself and understanding that our community needs to hear this, right? You didn't even know that Cuzzo was going through the same exact thing. See, this is real time, right? This is real time. This ain't recorded. We didn't have any pre-rehearsed questions. This is what we're talking about. Look at how in real time the host of the show are going through a similar thing that you're going through. And when I say the host, it means both of us, because guess what? When Cuzzo got that call, he called me. Yo, listen, this is what's going on with Pops. This is how we got to deal with it, right? You understand? Because it affects the family, the village.
And in the middle of work time too.
Yes.
In the middle of work time, we can't turn off. This is what we worked for.
Yeah.
This is what we worked for.
Yes.
So go outside. Let's let's pray on it. We back in the building.
That's it.
But it's the support that's why I mentioned your wife, right? The mind affects the body very powerfully.
Absolutely.
But people don't understand that a positive mindset can help you almost overcome anything. You can actually think yourself sick, think yourself ill, think yourself weak, and things of that nature. So when it is so important, like you said, from your girls, from your wife, from your support system. When my cousin called me, you know what we did? We went fishing with his pops. You know what I did? I pulled him to the side and said, we ain't had a talk in a long time. I need to talk to you man to man. I'm always talking to you as, child to adult, as uncle, but I want to talk to you man to man. You see? Right. And let him know that we here for you. Support system, support. You need it because it means everything. It's not about money. It means everything. And that lets him know my family got me. They got me. So when he feels like that, guess what his body does? His body feels better. His feels better.
I got everybody with me.
That's it.
So now it's easier to face any obstacle or procedure that you have to go through because you're not scared anymore, because you have your faith and you got the support of your family.
That's it. 100 grand, baby.
So I want to thank you for that, because again, if we can acknowledge that we're going through something very similar as the host of the show, we can almost guarantee you with absolute certainty that other people are going to hear this story and say, you know what, let me reach out to one of my family members. Or guess what? You know what? Maybe my father's of this age. I'm telling you right now, Tirrell, like I'm 45. I went in for a test. And again, if we're going to share, let's keep it 100. I went in for a test because I watched a lot of commercials that say every man after 40 should go in for an exam, right? Yes. I went in for an exam and the doctor told me because of my physical condition that I didn't need it because I look like da-da-da, and I believed it. But guess what? I have an annual exam next Thursday, 9 a.m. And you know what's one of the first questions I'm going to say to them when I walk in now at 45? I want this test. I don't care what you're saying. I want to know. Because like you just said, you had no symptoms.
Zero.
You understand? So how can I know if I'm sick unless I have advanced testing on me? I might not have no symptoms. I might be going through exactly what you're going through. And because I don't want to go through that, or I want to catch it early, thank you. Look at me. Thank you from me, because when I go next week, Thursday, 9:30 a.m., that's one of the first questions in the test, and I'm gonna have them run on me.
Thank God they ain't got enemies. Niggas will be like, I'm meeting them at the doctor. Nah. Thank God this nigga ain't got no enemies. Thank God we on the positive tip.
I love it. Man. I love it.
Any bill collector, I ain't say what doctor I was going to. So if you try to come get some money I owe you, you got to find me.
What Martin said, I just called a "Don't let me catch your ass in the street" notice. He said that one was from Mom. I do want to say something about the mindset, bro. I have one of your quotes up here too. I want you to talk about this. One thing we talk about on the show is the mindset, right? Excellence, right? But it takes a certain mindset for us to be like that, especially where we come from, bro.
Yeah.
So that's why this show is so important and near dear to us, because we need people where we come from. They don't even know that you exist, bro. They may not know you exist. They be like, yo, damn, word. He did that. Yo, I could do that. I'm creative. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'll work and take those. And we get it every day, bro. But you said a quote. Because real, you said, I'm inspired by excellence. Excellence is the measure of our success. He was like, you said the competition in advertising, marketing affairs, and excellence will separate you from rest. You was on the film of Red Tails, it said, and you asked one of the original Tuskegee Airmen. You said excellence is the antidote to racism, and excellence cannot be denied, detoured, or derailed. But what advice would you give our people, our brothers and sisters listening now, to change their mindset to think only excellence?
So I tell this to my staff regularly, and it's something I completely and totally believe in. Every single day, every morning you open your eyes, you are in control of only two things. Two. One is you are in control of your attitude. You can wake up and even if hell is breaking loose, people right now in California, some people literally have hell breaking loose in their lives, but they are in control of their attitude to wake up and say, you know what, even though things are real bad, today in this moment, I might cry, but I'm gonna smile right now. I might need to laugh right now, right? You have control of your attitude, right? Even if stuff is breaking loose bad, that don't mean it gives you a license to treat people wrong, right? You still got to be respectful, right? You still got to be honorable, right? You still got to have integrity. So you are in control of your attitude, number one. Number two, you are in control of your effort. You could decide, I'm going to give 50% today because I don't feel like it. I'm going to give 75% today. I'm going to do as much as I can, or I'm going to give 125%. I'm going to give it my all. So I tell everybody, you are in control of your attitude and effort. And if you know that, like you understand that, you can really kind of course correct your mind by thinking, saying, you know what, let me check myself. Let me check my attitude, and then let me give my best effort, right? That's the moment.
He beat me to the button. He beat me to the fucking button. All right. I see you, God.
That's it, man. That's it right there. I like that means a lot to me. We got Letterman jackets that I send out to all my staff. It's a patch on the side, attitude and effort. And I want them always to remember, like, you control it. So you can't blame people. Like that's the thing. You can't blame people if you got a wrong attitude or if you ain't giving the right effort. That's on you.
Cuzzo, you talk about this all the time. Tirrell, my cousin, has repeatedly came on this show and said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we transparent. Today we didn't want to part. Today we going. Today is a valley for our business. We had 100 reasons to quit. This is episode 176. We had 176 reasons.
Boom.
To not do this part. I'm not New York. Normally I'm in New York. We in the studio. I'm not New York. There could have been, there was things that happened today.
Mm-hmm.
Attitude, like you said, effort. So yeah, it might not be the best. We might not have the best backgrounds and things of that nature, but we showed up.
That's it.
We showed up. Because more importantly is the message that we know that you're going to send impact over the metrics.
Over the metrics, bro. You know, I watched a dope ass movie. Y'all seen that shit? That shit inspired, almost had me in tears. Y'all seen the Dolomite with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Hold on, Cuzzo. You frozen on my screen. Is he frozen on your screen?
Got him. No, he good. He good.
No, we good.
Okay.
You hear me now?
You're a little frozen on my screen, Cuzzo. But if Tirrell says you good, then go ahead. It might be my connection.
Yeah. Nah, so we watched the Dolomite. I'm saying watching it with wifey, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And the shit that he had to go through, that shit reminded me of us.
Yeah.
Reminded me of us, man.
But you know what's funny? Like, Dolomite believed in himself more than anybody else, and the more he continued to believe in himself, other people around him just started believing in him. They're like, "Well, I might as well believe in you too," and it becomes infectious.
There you go.
So I tell people, sometimes you do got to fake it till you make it. Sometimes you got to believe in yourself before the millions hit, before the money show up, before the people show up, before the accolades show up. Like, you got to believe it. You got to know it in your own heart. Otherwise, how you expect that? Like, so I tell people this. I saw as a CEO, my job is to see further into the future than anybody else in my company. I have to be able to look down the street, around the corner, down the freeway, 10 miles down. I got to look far. I got to have vision.
Yeah.
Right. But I have to believe in the vision. Like, I got to study it. I got to know it. Because I got to be able to articulate it so other people can grasp it. But when they get it, let me tell you what's powerful. When you cast vision and then you manifest it. Like, I told people, I said, hey man, when we started, I said, I think, I want to have my own building. Boom, we had our own building. I said, man, I think I want multiple offices. Boom, we got multiple offices. I said, you know what? I remember the day when I said, you know what? I think I would like to have Walmart as a client. And when you go get Walmart, come on, bro.
Hit different when you get Walmart. It's different when you say it and go get it.
When you do it right. And so, but here's the kicker. The people around you start noticing that, like, well, wait, he said it. It happened. He did it. Oh, I'm sitting in the right seat. This is who I want to ride with. That's the leader. That's the CEO I want to be with. The CEO I don't want to be with is the one that talk a whole lot but delivers very little.
Message.
Whew. And Cuzzo, and again, I gotta piggyback Cuzzo all the time, because Cuzzo comes on the show. Not only does he do it on the show, when we have our meetings off the show, positive affirmations. I can't tell you how many times we book guests based off of what he said we wanted to do. I can't tell you how many times that we've gotten into situations based on conversations where he's like, yo, Cuzzo, let's talk about it. What do we want to do? Let me tell you something, Tirrell. Every time, and I mean every single time that we leave New York to go to a podcast conference of any kind, it doesn't matter, right? Learning, right? Education to be better. The very first thing that we do, the very first day, is we come up with an itinerary, the do's, the must do's. What are we going to accomplish? Who do we need to talk to? What do we want to walk away with? And we do this before we walk in that door. And and if I'm wrong, Cuzzo, you tell me. And every single time we've made this list and done it this way with this system, Tirrell, and we say this is what we're going to do throughout the conference, 3-4 days, whatever. The length of the conference, this is what we need to accomplish during the length. We accomplish all of that and then some within the first couple of hours. Cuzzo.
That's what we do. Shit, you was just with Dennis. I thought you was going to say that story. We watching Bad Boys 4 in the movie theater. I'm with my lady, bro. And we watching the Dennis McDonald. He played Reggie in Bad Boys. He had the Il Marine scene. He's been a part of the franchise. He's from the Bronx. I said, you know what? I'm getting him on the show. With my wifey. Look at him. She's like, all right, yes. She believe in me. But you know what I'm saying? Look at you like,
that's cute. Yeah, that's cute.
Real cool.
Right.
That's real cool. I'm going to support you, baby. Yo, and went out and got it. And as we're sitting there looking to get them on the show, they seen something of us that went viral. They got like 400,000 views on Instagram. Us taking another guest to the blocks. He wanted to see what the Bronx was. Took him and got 400,000, 500,000 views. Went crazy, and they wanted to come on our show. And I'm sitting there looking at them like, yo, we want to do this. And I can't tell you how many countless stories that we have at this show. We in the right room. We photobomb somebody that leads us to another room. Or just a cold call, just a random, the party we met you in.
Yeah.
Party we met you in, bro. We downtown in Manhattan. We just seen Linwood. We like, yo, he throwing an event. Didn't even tell him we was coming. We just saw it. Boom, boom. RSVP. We pulling up to support, bro. We see you. We see Paxton. We see Jay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but so that's the organic nature of it. Like, for me, it's God moments. Like,
there it goes.
It's orchestrated. But part of it, and I tell the staff this too, faith got to meet works. It's the opportunity. It all comes together, right? Yeah. But regardless if you believe it, you got to put in the work. And if you put in the work and you got that mustard seed of faith, things start happening. Literally, I tell people the universe will alter itself. It will shift itself towards your favor because you're doing what's right. It's doing what you need to do. You're being obedient. Like, I was called to do this. I'm walking in it. Now, what's funny is when people decide and they say, I'm not gonna do it, or I'm scared to do it, or they let fear, some dream today, somebody's dream died. Today, somebody's dream died. My point is, don't let that be you. Like, don't let that be you. Get the best thing you could do is surround yourself, just like you are with Chadeo. Like, you got to surround yourself with people that's gonna be encouraging you. Like, yo, nah, let's go do it. Nah, you say something wild, something super large, and they're like, nah, let's whatever.
You jumping off the ledge, no parachute.
No, but hey, let me tell you. Like you said this earlier, Chadeo. Like NBC Universal, like we weren't that big of an agency. Man, I had like 6 employees, and we were going up against these monster big agencies.
Yeah.
But man, when I tell you we put it all on the table, man, when we walked, bruh, we got in that room and I pitched for my life. I mean, bruh, I felt like Method Man. I was giving it to him. I was giving it to him, bro. It was crazy, man. Let me tell you, the night before, so before we left Atlanta, we were working on the presentation. I went to my man's house. I was like, "Hey, bro, let's cut our own commercial." And they was like, "We just gonna do our own commercial for one of their TV shows." I was like, "We ain't got nothing to lose." So let's do it. We cut our own commercial.
Message.
The night before, I was looking at the presentation. I was like, "It's good, but it ain't great. It just ain't great." I stayed up all night and flipped it. And when I finished, I was like, "This is great." So my confidence when I walked in the room, man, oh my God, we killed it so hard. At the end of the room, I'm tell a quick story. At the end of the room, the president of marketing was back there. He was sat back there. He was like, "Yeah, these boys are dope." I mean, it is a white dude. He's like, "Man, they dope." To hear him say it, I was like, "I didn't know you knew what dope meant." And he was like, "Oh yeah, this is dope." I got a call from the chief diversity officer. I love her. Her name is Paula Madison. After we won the deal, she called us. We didn't know if we was in trouble or not. She called us to her office, like, "Hey, tell Tirrell to come." Huge office. Man, we go in, we sit down. She walks in, walks over to her desk. She hits a button and the door closes. We like, "Oh my God." This is some old, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? And she sits back and she's like, "Brothers, I'm so proud of y'all." I mean, she was like, "What y'all did was incredible." And she said, "So here's what we're going to do for the next 45 minutes. We're going to listen to this new Prince album." Yeah. We sat in her office for 45 minutes and listened to, she had an unreleased Prince, like Prince literally gave her the music. We sat there and listened to the Prince album. And she just said, what she talked to us about, she was like, to have some brothers walking here, you not scared, you didn't come in here, egotistical, you knew your stuff, like y'all killed it. Like that confidence, not arrogance, but that confidence matters, bro. And that kind of stuff takes you so far. But preparation, the opportunity got to be there. You put the work in, God alters the universe, you show up, boom, you kill it.
Cuzzo, I know you gotta something to add to that. I know what you're gonna say to add to that. I'm reading your mind.
I'm reading. I want to respond. I'm reading the comments. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I'm so in the damn story. I'm forgetting about the comments. My bad, y'all.
I'm just saying. I know where you're going with it because Tirrell, let me tell you something. If you've met us in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so be a testament to it. When you met us, did we look like we didn't belong in the group that you met us in?
Never.
Exactly. When me and Cuzzo step out, because we've had a conversation and said, "Cuzzo, what we got to lose? Nothing. We have nothing to lose."
Right.
What they gonna tell us? What you gonna tell us? No, we've heard no before. We from the hood.
No, don't scare me. Never scare me, bro.
When we walk into any situation, and this is a testament to exactly what you're saying, but it's also a testament to what I said to you about why your story matters, because we can look at brothers like yourself and see what you have done. When we see, and this is why, again, our culture, what we see, what we hear, that's what we understand. We have to see it, we have to hear it to believe it, because now we've seen that we can be successful in multiple different areas. We can be successful at high different levels. Now we believe it. We believe it. So now this is why so many young entrepreneurs are now becoming entrepreneurs, and they're stepping into their own saying, I can do this because guess what? He did it, and he did it, and he did it. I'm not afraid no more because if you tell me no, that's only a one no. I'm gonna hear a bunch of no's.
That's it.
But when I hear that one yes, see, you fight for the one yes, right? You get 100 no's, but it's the one yes that changes your life. Now we talk about preparation. You didn't know this, but after we left you, we was already setting up to do a presentation at the LinkedIn headquarters. After we left you, we went to do a presentation at the LinkedIn headquarters. One of the only podcasts allowed to stream from LinkedIn, multiple rooms on our streaming from multiple rooms, and did a panel at the same time. And you know what LinkedIn said? You know what LinkedIn said? Hold on, y'all came in, set up the equipment. First of all, you set up the equipment and broadcast everything. So you're the equipment guys, you're the broadcast guys, and then you had a panel, and then interact. Like what? And we're like, yeah,
people in different rooms. He's over there in the main room. I'm in the back room, and then we setting it up. We got an iPhone on a stand, and it goes. It cuts in like NBC. You would thought it was an actual broadcast. It's like, yo, over there to Jarrett in this room. Yo, I'm with Jason Rosario, Chief Diversity Officer at Omnicom, and we gonna do this. You know what I mean? And that's what we doing. And then we have to change the clothes, get on stage, and then Doug Melville, whose grandfather was one of the first black generals. Red Tails. For Red Tails. He got the book, Invisible Generals, about that. Red Tails was based on that. And he made the book because they changed his grandfather's name in the movie.
Wow.
Okay. Right, so Red Tails is actually based on his family.
On his family. His grandfather was General Davis.
Right.
Was the one. So we brought him on stage. Then we had Jay Alexander on stage. And then Malik Yoba came out of nowhere. It happened to be in the crowd. Malik Yoba happened to be in the crowd. Like, come on, bro. And we sitting there drinking wine, chilling, got the room in a frenzy.
Right.
I love it, man. But that's
why hustle. We walked in there like we belonged, right?
Yes.
We walked in there like we belong, but like
you do belong, and you do belong. That's what it is. Like, you gotta believe it. You gotta know. Like, so here's the deal. So years ago, I can't remember how long now. So I've been running the agency, right? We experts in movies, television, and somebody's like, well, maybe you should start producing film. And I'm like, yeah, like who said I can't produce like. Why can't I produce a movie?
Back to the Dolomite.
I can't do it, right?
Back to the Dolomite.
Hey, I can learn. I can pick up a book. I can go on set. I can watch people. I can get mentored. Man, it's funny because sometimes you get to a space and people think, well, you do this. That's all you do. No, I can do a lot of things. And you can't hold me down or you can't put me in a box. So yeah, I run the agency, and then I decided to start producing films, produce a couple documentaries. One of them really popped off, won an NAACP Image Award. People were like, yo, this cat, he just started. And, 3 years later, he won an NAACP Image Award. Absolutely. Then I produced a feature film, and I produced the next film. Like, bro, so my thing to people is you don't, now I do tell people, I said this earlier, you got to become an expert at something.
Yes.
You got to. So the thing is, I had an expertise at marketing film and television. So I carried value that a lot of other people at the table didn't carry. So when they may be saying, well, hey, the grips and the lighting and blah, 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 this and that, I'm like, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. How are we going to sell it? How are we going to make this money? And they like, oh, he talking money. Like you talking that other language. I talk to creative too. Like I want to write actors. I want to write story, but we got to make this money. And they're like, oh, you know something. Oh, I absolutely know something. I done sold a lot of books, baby. And so at that juncture, my expertise it gave me a seat at the table.
There it goes.
So that allowed me to move into producing. So I think my point is like, just like with y'all, like sometimes you got to come in and do certain things, become an expert at your space, and then figure out how you manifest that, how you translate it into other areas, and keep growing.
Message.
That's real. I'm curious. I want to know the process of producing that first film, and I'm curious if other Black filmmakers in the space, like, because only a few, right? It's like I know you, like Jeff Clanagan, a couple other people. Like, who, are y'all up there? Are y'all sharing advice? Are y'all making sure?
It's not a lot. I mean, in comparison to other folks, it ain't a bunch of us out there at the commercial level of engagement. And I do indie films. I've worked on commercial films. Like, and unfortunately, sometimes we don't always get a chance to get together and talk, but when we get those moments to work together, to talk, to collect, to collaborate, we do take it. the best thing for me getting into it, I was working with my agent, and I told my agent, so let me flip it. So the agency used to call me to go in to help them get movies across the finish line, right? So let's say let's say you're a director, you trying to get your movie with Amazon. Amazon is like, we're not sure. Hey, call Tirrell, have Tirrell come in, send him into the meeting, let him talk about how they're gonna market the movie, how they're gonna, because they want to hear about the money. Cool. I go in, I do that. I flip it back to my agent. And I said, the agency, I was like, hey, I love what y'all got me doing. This is cool. I appreciate it. I actually want to be on the other side of the table. I want to be part of the production team. They were like, interesting. I was like, that's my value. I know my value. I know I'm going to add to it. And ultimately, I need the credit. And so they helped me get into those first couple films. And they saw how much value I was bringing to the table. From there, it was like, as more and more projects began to come to me, they were like, okay, this guy, he knows what he's doing. And I started really paying attention to it, understanding that in producing a film, everybody has a role, from the line producers to the executive producer to your lead producer, associate producers. Everybody has to play a role to help get that film across the finish line. I just had to learn my role. Are you a pitch hitter? Are you the guy that's going to hit the grand slam? Are you the guy that's going, steal bases? Like, what's going to be your role? And once you understand that, now you can come in and present your value. So I tell people, if you want to get to something, learn all the different spaces and figure out what hole can you plug? Where can you create that value? But you got to know your value and be able to speak to it. That's how I got into producing, man.
Message.
Cuzzo,
Hey, I beat you to it.
you beat me by 100 for a second. You beat me by 100 for a
This
second.
side of the Mississippi.
Beat me by 100 for a second.
You feel me? Who else gonna get us ass? But I know we come. I wish we had more time, bro.
I just want to ask him one question though. Wait, I love what you just said. I think we have to know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to tell our audience this. This is a major problem between people that are workers and want to become businessmen and people that understand what business truly entails, right? Can you explain, when you are pitching these new ideas to put yourself in these new ventures, how much you are willing to invest in yourself, skin in the game? Can you tell them how important it is to come to the table with skin in the game, showing that you are willing, before you ask for this money, Tirrell?
Yeah.
I need this. I need this. I need that. How important it is to come to the table and say, I know I need this, but I'm willing to invest this amount in myself. Can you please tell the audience how important it is to have skin in the game?
So it is a matter of being thorough and being complete. And so skin in the game matters everything. Like, look, I started my company and it was 4 years before I was able to pay myself. Right.
Message.
I had to go hard. It was a lot of days, like you said, where I was like, yo, bro, I don't want to do this. I ain't gonna make no money doing this today. But my passion, my heart said, I got to put the equity in. I got to put the time in. I got to be invested, and people have to see it. Right. And so even today, man, I'm working on a deal right now. As part of the deal, we're putting in our investment into the deal to let the people know we care enough about this that we want to be at the table, right? So it's one thing, some people just want to get paid, right? And if you just want to get paid, then cool, that's cool. Then you do what they tell you to do and you get paid and go home and live your wonderful life. Some people like having a seat at the table and making decisions. You want to be at the table, you got to invest. And if you're not willing to invest in yourself, that tells people that you're not willing to commit and do what's necessary for their investment or for the project or for the client themselves. So my biggest thing is, especially if you're thinking about it, like if you're on the edge, you're like, look, I got a talent. I'm trying to figure out how to get there. I want to make this trend. Like I said, I was a passionpreneur, right? I had to stretch out on my passion before I could translate and transition to a full entrepreneurship. Like, know that you're going to have to invest your time, your energy. You're going to have to sacrifice. And those short-term sacrifices can lead to long-term benefits, but it won't happen if you won't put it on the table. Like it just
Message.
Come on, man. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna tell you, Tirrell, I feel like you're speaking right to us. As two entrepreneurs that have their own digital marketing agency, bro.
Yeah.
We've worked with clients like Hard Rock. We've had those sales calls. We've been in those rooms. I've been in sales and marketing 10 years. Same way you went in corporate, I said we was tired. Me and Cuzzo both said we was tired. Yeah. I was doing this for an agency and we closed it for $2 million. We ended up selling $2 million worth of product just from the podcast alone and me building a brand awareness. I said I want to do it for myself because I wasn't appreciated.
Right.
Took it with Cuzzo. We did it. Within the first week, had our first client. Within a month and a half after that, we had Hard Rock as one of our clients. Hard Rock is one of our clients. And now we're trying to figure out right now with all of this stuff, it's distribution. It's figuring out those pieces. We're making the content, scheduling the content, distributing the content. We're coming up with the game plans, the strategies, then working with clients. And then it's just me and Cuzzo and maybe another other person or somebody else when the client calls for it, right? Because now he has everything. We're trying to get margin.
Yeah.
You know what that moment is like. And we're in year 3. You said year 4.
Wow.
So you know how it spoke directly to us, bro. And we don't do this often. And I'm doing action on camera. We've done it. I know Cuzzo's done it once. I don't think I've ever done it, bro. But I would love for you to, bro, if you don't mind, to mentor us. Because we're going through that space. Like, we'd be honored, bro. Like, really, like, because you've gone through what we're going through. You've where we want to go. And we would be honored, even just like, every other month or something like that, just to check in, because we go through those days, bro.
Hands down, yes. My word is bond. Like, so my assistant going to reach out. She'll set it up. Absolutely, bro. I mean, there's nothing better for me at this juncture in life. There's nothing better than giving back. And here's the deal. You shouldn't have to go through all the mistakes that I went through, right? You shouldn't have to. I'm happy to do it. I've done it for my brother and his company, and they're doing excellent. I do it for many other people. I would be honored to do it. But more than anything, and this is really for the people listening, it's what we're supposed to do. Like, stop being so selfish. Like, if you got it, give it up. Because here's the best part. I'm gonna put it on the table too. Y'all might be the guys that hire me and be like, yo, T, we need a marketing agency. We're gonna hire Tirrell. We're gonna hire Liquid Soul. And I would love it. That's how this thing is supposed to work. But sometimes we get so caught up in being whatever that people can't see. If we can't do this in our own community, if I could do this with 2 other brothers, then why am I here, bro? Come on, man. I would absolutely love to do it.
We talked about that last episode, Cuzzo, about understanding Tirrell. Like I said, let me tell you, when we walked into that party with you guys, right? And this was funny, right? Everybody's talking to Paxton and everybody's talking. When we walked in, our energy was so dynamic that we actually stopped conversations because people started to gravitate towards us. And then when Paxton gravitated towards us, oh, yeah, morning, it was good. Everybody like, well, how the fuck do y'all motherfuckers know that? You understand?
Paxton hit him with no, hold on. No, what you said was good. What you said was good. These are my boys right here. Yo, get baby, what up?
Right.
And when we go down to DC, it takes time. Brings us to the office, brings us to chill. Like, it's the relationship that means everything to us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Everything to us.
But understand that we put in the work even though we do 2 shows a week, we put in the work every day. See, what we won't do, Tirrell, is take advantage of what we feel like our situation is and our relationship with you. See, the only reason we would ask you to do something like mentor us is because we feel like we put in the work and we would not let you down. We feel like
that's a fact.
We have done the work to get to a certain level, to earn a certain respect, so that you can see that you can take us seriously. Because see, at the end of the show, we're going to ask you, hey, Tirrell, how would the fans get in contact with you and your company and things of that nature? But what we say behind that is respect this guest as the guest, right? Don't waste their time, right? Don't waste their resources because there's somebody that really needs it.
That's true.
And it only takes one person.
Yeah.
One person to burn that bridge, to make you feel jaded, to make you feel like I don't want to do this anymore because the last person I did this for fucked up the opportunity.
Yeah. That's real talk. But that also is in business. Like, I'm gonna tell you, one of the things I tell my staff is one of the reasons why we got to be so excellent. If we aren't pristine, if we aren't excellent, there's not gonna be other companies like us coming through the door.
There you go.
And so people are always watching, man, and they are quick. Look, I can give you this one. I know we over time. I'm gonna give it to you quick. My name is Tirrell. I know going into the meeting, they've already discounted me by 10% because they know he's Tirrell, he's black. My job in the first 45 seconds of that meeting, I got to get you from -10 to 0. I got to get even, right? Get you to 0. After that, in the next 45 seconds, I got to get you to +10, and then I got to march you down the field. I got to get first downs till I get that touchdown. So part of knowing the cycle of it, like first you know me, then you got to like me before you gonna trust me. So the key to it is knowing that, man. You got to be able to read the room, understand it. And sometimes for us, like, you know, some people have such an ego and such an arrogance and such an attitude that they, like you said, they'll get in and mess it up for everybody. And then they'll just walk out and be like, I don't care. Like, well, we care. Because you done left us with the bag. So my point with y'all, happy to do it because I want your podcast to be the best, to be the moniker of it. So that when you step on stage, people are like, that's how you get it done. That's how you get it done. Now, the key to it is then y'all got to bring the entree behind y'all to say, look, whoever coming up next, we got you. Get on these coattails and let's go. Let's go get this money.
That's a fact, bro. I love it, man. So, T, man, I got you. What we usually do, I know, yeah, since it's going to hit us up, so I'll definitely make sure I look out for the email, but we usually start a group chat, just real between me, you, and Cuzzo. Something comes up because we have a lot of things coming up, a lot of events, like we might be at con. We're going to be at con. There's going to be a lot of different things going on, but we definitely want to make sure we get in touch with you, bro. But thank you. We're honored for you to, you know, to be our mentor, bro. This was informative as hell. Me from Sale, both of us, man, we as entrepreneurs of OTB Digital, this is the episode we needed, and everything happens for a reason. This is the time, exactly the time we need to hear your story, bro. And so we're glad to share with the audience, bro. This was an instant classic, and thank you for being a part of the family. If anybody, I know you good, but if anybody before or after that we've spoken to, you're part of the family now. Any connections we can make, you see us rocking with somebody that can help you, you let us know. It's never a problem. We put people on the phone, on a conference call, and me and Cuzzo step off. Y'all handle business. This is no gatekeeping on this show. We got to practice what we preach, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we on.
Same thing. My door is open, bro. We'll make it happen.
So before we get out of here, so now we're gonna say, Tirrell, for your business, Liquid Soul, for you as a person, right? If somebody wants to get in contact with your company, right? If somebody would like to get in contact with you, what would be the best platform where they can reach out to you or your company to get information or try to develop a relationship with you?
Absolutely. You can always go to the website, goliquidsoul.com, GOLIQUIDSOUL.com. Then you can always hit me up. Follow me on Instagram at Tirrell Whittley. I don't really do Twitter. Facebook is really private, but Instagram is usually the best place to hit me. And then, of course, if you're trying to do real business, then follow me on LinkedIn and then send me a message on LinkedIn. I will tell you, like, everything gets filtered. Nobody gets through easy. Nobody gets through easy. Like,
and they shouldn't because once again,
I got an executive assistant. She's also my creative executive. You can't pitch me no film projects unless it go through her. You know, none of that. Everybody got to be filtered because you're right. There's a lot of people out there they talk real good game. Everybody ain't got good intentions. So I got people around me that keep it pure. That's why we on here today, because y'all pure.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we told y'all. We start the show and say it's gonna be a phenomenal show because we know. And now you can thank us. You can say, yo, this show was crazy.
And it's in the chat. Yeah, I was texting. We not texting during the show. Stop texting during the show.
You know what it is, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, also, like my cousin said, we appreciative of the new listeners, of the returning listeners that tuned in to hear this brother Tirrell's story. He gave it to you. He was passionate about it. He was open and honest about his personal because he wants to empower you guys. He showed you that he's not afraid to take the risk, right? He showed you that he's willing to invest himself. He had a vision for himself, which reinforces what we say over and over and over again. The dream is free,
but the hustle is so separately, y'all. We gonna see y'all Tuesday, more than the title, baby.
Yeah, I wish you
know about me. Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it. last one.